Hi, I'm Medic3D and today I will show you how I've designed and printed this simple filament stand. This design is almost exact copy of the first ever filament stand I've got, which was attached to my first 3D printer, which was Anet A6. And I'm still using this design, so I've decided to copy it. I also added my logo on the sides and a special pin for quick filament change. And today I will show you how it's done. I used Fusion 360 to quickly recreate the design and then Prusa Slicer to generate the G-code for the printer. After printing the bottom part, the two side parts and two halves for the pin, it's time to start the assembly. I started by gluing the pin together. For reinforcement, I use a 2mm brass shaft. After mixing the two-part resin, it's time to apply it. Clamp the parts and let the epoxy dry. And the most boring and time-consuming part is to paint my logo. I started by masking the parts using blue tape and X-Acto knife. So far I applied 3 coats of the paint. Now for the fourth, I hope that it will be the last one. Let's start painting. So now I can set those to dry. And in the meantime I can take care of my filament spool holder pin. I've glued it using epoxy and now it's time to remove the excess. Just in case, I will use my safety glasses. I have removed most of the epoxy, so now we'll just give it a quick sanding and that should be good enough, and then I can assemble the filament stand. Now it should be smooth enough. If not, then I can make some more sanding, but I guess it will be okay. The most convenient way would be to use a lathe to smooth it out, or even just use a wooden dowel and make shape like that, but I only have a 3D printer, so that must be enough. And now for the final part, to remove the masking tape. So the side pieces are ready. As you can see here, I have a base and I've used slicer to remove this hole in the bottom part so I can use less filament. And now it's just a matter of putting it all together. I will use some M4 screws. As you can see, the assembly is pretty straightforward. You just put the pieces together and then use 4 M4 screws and nuts to secure everything in place. Now it's nice and sturdy. And for the filament, you just take your spool, insert the pin inside and put it on top of the holder, and that's it. I think that the force required to rotate the spool is just right. It can rotate freely, but when jerked, it doesn't rotate too much. When the filament spool is too easy to rotate, it can cause the filament to untangle, go beyond the spool and make some mess around here or here, and it can destroy your print. If you prefer, you can use another pin, like your old smooth rod, or even the brush, like so. And obviously you can use this design. I am using this all the time. There are skateboard bearings inside. You just insert the filament spool here and the rotation is just right. If you want to tighten them, you can use the screw here and use another screw to countersink it, and it will hold your filament spool pretty nice. Watch my other videos, they are right there, and see you next time.